Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. About a video title, you know what this video is about. NFL game picks are finally back. If you guys are new to the channel, of course I do NFL game picks. I dive into each game that's for the week and keep my record as well like that. Last year and year before last I had positive record back-to-back years. Ever since I started my channel on the sports version of my channel in 2022, I've been doing this like that and keeping the series going. So every week I do game picks, choosing who I think gonna win, who I think gonna lose, get an explanation of why, and all that stuff. And let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think and what you guys gonna select as well. Like who you think gonna win, like the first game, the next game, all the different games that's gonna happen throughout this year. And I'll compare it with my wins and losses, and we'll see at the end who has the best record. So let's dive into the first game. As you can see on the board right here, we have the Ravens versus the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the reigning, defending, back-to-back champions, a team that's been very dominant for the past really 3, 4, or 5 years, really. Ever since Mahomes got there, they've been very dominant. Even before Mahomes, it was pretty good, but now they're at a dominant level now. So the Ravens will have a rematch of the AFC Championship with the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think this game is going to be a good one. But in my opinion, I think those Thursday night games are always bad for the Super Bowl winning team. We've seen it with the Chiefs last year. We've seen it with different teams that won a Super Bowl and come off like the opening win, and we see like how to get jacked up. We see with the Rams before, when the Rams, when they played the Bills, they got blown out and stuff. So I think this year, I believe that the Chiefs will lose this one and the Ravens will win this one on the road versus the Chiefs. I think it'd be a pretty good game. I think it'll end like one of those 4-quarter game, heart clenching, nervous, sweaty type games like that. You're trying to see what happens. It'll come down to the last play type of game. Moving on, next we have Patriots and Bengals. Another battle in the AFC, of course. I believe the Bengals should win this game right here. The Bengals are the better team, on paper, better team in general, better quarterback, better receivers. I think the Patriots defense might be a little better than the Bengals. Overall, the Bengals should win this game. But I don't sleep on the Patriots though. Patriots got some players. They got Jalen Pope. They got different guys on the team who can make some plays for them and stuff. So we're going to see how the Patriots fully look. They're still in the rebuilding stages a little bit of their team. But I think overall they should go out there and put up a good fight since their defense is good. But I think overall, Bengals going to win this one. Jaguars and Dolphins, we have that game coming up next. I think the Dolphins should win this one. Dolphins have overloaded on their offense. They got a solid defense as well, but their offense is overloaded. You already had Tyreek Hill, you had Jalen Waddle, you paid Tua some big money. So you don't have those guys around for quite some time. All those guys got big time contract extensions. But you also added Odell Beckham Jr. as your third guy. Then you also added Jonnu Smith, that speedster receiver. Speedster tight end who had 400, 500 yards last year, who's a pretty good player. So you had that piece to their offense as well. Offensive line is pretty good too. It's pretty solid. So I think the Dolphins have just a better team than the Jaguars. Jaguars did lose some pieces, losing Calvin Ridley. They did add Gabe Davis though as well to their roster with Christian Kirk. Trevor Lawrence is a guy who's always a little shaky and kind of hard to break down. We know he has all the talent, but I feel like he plays too fundamentally sound. Sometimes you want to see a quarterback what Mahomes do, what just Allen do, what the greats did, Tom Brady did it occasionally too as well. Even though he was more fundamentally sound, he made plays when it was necessary, got the pocket and did some spectacular things. We've seen it with Peyton Manning, Big Ben to do it all the time with the Steelers. So you want to see him be able to do that, use his athleticism, use his natural gifts to go out there and make plays for his team. So I hope this year they kind of say, hey, you ain't gotta be all that like that. It's kind of like a rebel and a corporate guy like that. So you see Mahomes, Josh Allen, they do things that are different, things that you don't probably train guys to do as quarterback. Trevor Lawrence kind of too fundamentally corporate, in the sense of his play style. I feel like he needs to let loose a little bit and go out there and show the things he did in college, do that in the NFL. And I think he can get to the next level. But I think this first game right here, the Dolphins are going to be the team that kind of knock off the Jaguars, and we'll see what happens the rest of the way. We got Texans and Colts. That'll be a good one. I think the Texans should win this game, but this game will be very close. I think it'll come down to the wire. It's a division game. Division battles are always very tough. Raiders and Chargers, another division game as well. I believe the Chargers got they have a new coach now. Jim Harbaugh is coming in like that. We know what he's able to do and capable of doing. He's very good at getting the offensive line on the right page. He's also very good defensively. But I think the Raiders win this one. I think it'll come down to the wire as well. These games are always crazy. That's where every time the Chargers and the Raiders play is always crazy. I remember that one year they played, a few years back when they played the last game of the season to see who's going to make the playoffs. And that right there was a crazy game because they both lost and tied. They both will be in. but it was playing and they were competing and competing. It was a crazy game, a thrill ride, and we've seen that the Raiders won the game in the end. I think the Raiders win this one as well. Okay, now moving on to the next section was AFC versus NFC games we got going on. Got Titans and Bears on Sunday. I believe that that's a tough one. His Titans, they add some pieces. They add Tony Pollard. They have Calvin Ridley as well on the team. They also added Tyler Boyd. So they got some pieces as well. I think they're going to be slinging that ball down the field. Will Levis looks pretty good. But I'm going to go with the Bears. I think Caleb Williams in his opening game, his home debut, his NFL debut, like the regular season, I think he go out there and do pretty well. And especially the Bears defense, they got better too as well. They got some nice weapons as well. So they finally built around our quarterback. So we're going to see how they merge well. But I think they should be able to get it done and beat the Titans. Steelers, Falcons. I'm going to say the Steelers win this one. Of course, I know I'm still a fan, of course, but also I'm trying to predict the score. Cause my video I made, I said 26-18, but now I'm trying to think of it like, the Steelers could possibly win maybe double digits. I think a lot of people sleep on the Steelers a lot. They've been a lot of teams in the media have been picking like, oh, the Steelers gonna lose this game to the Falcons and stuff. But the Steelers defense is very good. I think we've seen what Steelers defense can do on occasion. Now the Falcons got good defense too as well. They're twisted. They got amazing defense, especially their secondary is very good. You had Jesse Bates. Yeah, Justice Simmons now as well like that. So you got all these different pieces. But I think overall, I like the Steelers defense, and I like the Steelers experience as well to go in this game, shut the haters up, shut the doubters up, and win this game in dramatic fashion. Cardinals, Bills, taking the Bills with that one. Broncos, Seahawks, I'm taking the Seahawks in that one. Cowboys, Browns, that's gonna be a good one, but I think the Browns win it. The Browns defense, you know, I don't like the Browns that much because I'm still a fan, but as an NFL fan, the Browns defense is very good. Very good defense. They can get after you in different ways. In secondary, their linebacker core is good, pretty good too as well. Their D-line is very good. They can send guys different ways, and they're very crafty and the versatile pieces they have on defense that create a lot of disarray for opposing teams. Last year, they held teams like their rushing numbers that teams had against them was very low. Like they was holding teams like 40 rushing yards, 50 rushing yards, like 60 rushing yards. You're like, dang, like that you basically ain't going nowhere really in the game. They was doing a very good job in keeping everything contained in. So the Cowboys rushing attack doesn't look the best on paper. You know, have Ezekiel Elliott and they have Dalvin Cook. Now it was like 3 or 4 years ago. You were like, okay, there you go. Ezekiel Elliott and Dalvin Cook is a crazy combination. But the way it is now, you're like, it's a little shaky. We're gonna see how it looks fully. Offensive line, Cowboys got some new pieces like Tyler Guyton and different pieces they added to the O-line. Dak Prescott is still there, of course. CeeDee Lamb is there. Their second receiver, I think Brandon Cooks is still there if I'm not mistaken. So they have some nice pieces. They lost some pieces, but they still have some nice pieces on the team. So we'll see how they look. But I think the Browns should win this game. Jets and 49ers. That's a Monday game. I believe the 49ers should win that one. Should be a nice one. If Aaron Rodgers can play more than 3 plays, it should be good. We'll see. Packers and Eagles, the game in Brazil. I think the Eagles win that one against the Packers. I think it'll be a good game. It's still crazy they play in Brazil. They said Brazil, you can't walk down the street with your phone in your hand. You can't leave certain times. There's like a lot of different regulations and rules. Like the players feel unsafe. So maybe next time they should play it somewhere else or something. But as for now, I think the Eagles gonna win that game against the Packers. I think it'll be a nice little game, a nice showdown between two high explosive offenses. And the Eagles defense, they did add some pieces. Their cornerbacks are pretty good now, I think, too. You had Keelan Mitchell, you had Cooper DeJean, you had also nice pieces in secondary as well. You had a nice little roster. Moving on to next, the Panthers and the Saints. I believe the Saints win that one. Panthers do have nice pieces on their team as well. Xavier Legette, the big target, they're going to have him on the squad as well. So he's a nice like a safety blanket for Bryce Young. Adam Thielen is still there as well. So it should be a good game, but I think the Saints win this one. Vikings and Giants, I'm taking the Vikings to win that one. Washington and Commanders and the Bucks, I'm taking the Bucks to win this one. And then the Rams versus the Lions. We get to see Matt Stafford homecoming. I think last year he had one too as well when he played in the playoffs. But we see another homecoming in the regular season. Rams go to play the Lions, a little revenge from the playoff game. The Lions beat them, of course, in the playoffs. I think overall it's going to be a pretty good game. I think it'll be a pretty good game. I think the Lions win this one. The Lions are a very good team. I think the Lions going to be a team that's winning like 12 or probably 13 games, probably 13, 14 games around that range. They kind of built right now to compete for Super Bowl. So they kind of go all in really like that with this young core of guys they have on offense and on defense. Last year, the secondary was their main thing. I think this year they only like need in depth is probably maybe the edge rushers. Maybe they add another edge rusher later down the line. But overall, yeah, nice squad, nice roster. So I think it's gonna be a good game to see. But I wouldn't be surprised if it went to overtime because, you know, the Rams do have a lot of weapons on their team as well. Williams, running back who rushed for 1,000 yards last year quietly. A lot of people didn't talk about that too much. And Puka Nacua, amazing player with Cooper Kupp. And then you got Stafford and all these different guys and stuff. I think it'll be a nice game right there. So I'm definitely be looking forward to that one. But this is all I have for today's game picks. If you like this video, leave a like and subscribe for more content. And I'll see you guys next time on the next NFL Game Picks. Peace out.